21-year-old John Bray, seen here in the green trunks, is a 6'4", 200-pound national amateur boxing champion out of Van Nuys, California. You're looking at his gold medal performance in the 1991 Summer Olympic Sports Festival, and he's favored to be one of America's best hopes for gold in Barcelona. This past July 30th, while cleaning his 9mm gun, John Bray accidentally shot himself in the face. Miraculously, the bullet did not kill John Bray, though doctors said it should have. A few days after the accident, Bray spoke to KABC's Jim Hill about the close call.
You know, I almost lost my life. Not only just boxing and everything, but being able to walk down the street, being able to smell a flower, being able to do anything at all, you know. I almost lost it all. Not just to appreciate my boxing career, but to appreciate life in general. I was a lucky man.
That was then. This is now. You look a lot better, John, a lot better. But does that shake you up when you see that every once in a while?
Definitely. Definitely does.
Yeah. Let's first of all talk about how it happened. You were cleaning a gun and there was a bullet in the gun?
Well, there was one in the chamber. The clip was out and everything
You didn't
else.
know it was in the chamber?
I didn't know it was in the chamber, and on top of that, I wasn't knowledgeable enough to be handling a 9mm gun. People don't realize when you're dealing with a semi-automatic weapon like that, that you've really got to be an expert. I mean, you get these kids running around on the streets and they're doing these drive-by shootings and everything else, and you always hear about that. But I want to hear how many accidental shootings have happened while they're loading their guns in their garages and whatever before they go out, because you've got to be an expert when you're dealing with those guns, and I wasn't, and you're not going to see me handling a gun again.
What were you doing with the gun?
Well, I work as an apprentice private investigator,
Okay.
and for Superior Investigations. And I was coming from the target range and everything else.
So it's all legal?
Oh, it was all legal, yeah. I was coming from the target range, I was getting ready to clean it, and I thought that, you know, I'll just stop by my buddy's shop and use his solvents, and before you know it, I was laid up in a hospital.
What's it like to be shot? What's it like to be shot in the face? What does it feel like?
It's the worst feeling in the world. I mean, it felt like a piece of hot steel just went right through my face. And
did you think you were going to die right then and there?
I wasn't sure. Everything started going numb. Then I started thinking, this is it, you know. Maybe I'm going. Then as I guess I was losing blood, everything was starting to get, I was getting dizzy.
Did you lose consciousness?
No, I never did. And I mean, when I started feeling myself going dizzy and everything going black a little bit, I figured, this is it, I'm going, you know. You know, and I kind of felt a certain peace of mind and everything else, though. You know, I'm religious and I go to church, and you know, that made me feel good. But I mean, when my mom sat there while they wheeled me in the Holy Cross Medical Center and everything, and she sat there and she cried and she laid on top of me and she was praying for me not to go and just going hysterical. Then I thought to myself, I don't feel at ease anymore. Now I want to live and everything else. And it was the worst experience of my life. I'll never experience anything like that.
How long were you laid up for?
I was in the hospital for about a week and a half. You know, the surgery, I think, was about an hour. And it was scary. I knew that it was serious when I was in the trauma room and I let all my relatives in.
Wow.
Then I knew, so wait a minute, something's wrong here.
But you recovered, and it was a miracle that you recovered, and of course the dream that you have is to win the Olympic gold medal, and you are America's best hope, perhaps in the heavyweight division. How much did this set you back, this injury?
It didn't set me back at all. I mean, 4 months later, I was down in Australia and I fought for the World Championships. I mean, they thought that a lot of people thought I would never fight again. Some people said, well, in a year, at the very, very, very least, you know, he'll be back in a year and everything else. And I was back, you know, 2 months, 3 months, I was back in the gym hitting the bags, sparring at 2.5 months, and I fought for a world title down in Australia, which I was robbed against the German, and a decision for me to get a bonus, according to how I did against the German, was to be issued if I won and everything else. And the Olympic Committee reviewed the tape. They felt that I won and I got that bonus. So it justified me, you know, working.
Angelo Dundee is going to train John Bray, and of course he's trained some of the very great, Sugar Ray Leonard, Muhammad Ali. Obviously, he thinks a lot of this young man. They're going to put a special mouthpiece in, I think, to protect any scar tissue, et cetera, inside, but they don't look for any problems ahead. All right, let's fast forward a little bit down the road to the Olympics and the possibility of an Olympic gold medal. All right, let's assume you do very well. We don't say gold necessarily, but say you succeed very well. What then for you in your career?
Turn pro. Turn pro. My ultimate goal is the heavyweight championship of the world.
You look like you're just out of high school. You really look young. But 21 is relatively late, isn't it?
Well, not really, you know. Don't say that, please. No, I think I'm the right age. I'm a heavyweight. I'm not going to mature till I'm 27, 28 years old. I have been fighting since I'm 9 years old, so you know there might be a little wear and tear here and there. But nobody in the U.S. has been able to pick up on it because I'm undefeated in the U.S. for the last 3.5 years. So I see no reason why everything won't go my way.
This guy has bounced back from all kinds of adversity. The first 4 amateur fights he had, he lost all 4. Then, of course, this horrible shooting accident where he survived miraculously. So my question to you has to do with the second chance in life. How does it make you a better fighter, and how does it make you a better person?
Well, number one, the way it makes me a better person is I appreciate life now. I appreciate the little things. Just, you know, being able to walk, being able to see, being able to appreciate my family, just the little things like that. The little things that everyone takes for granted, I can appreciate now. And as far as my boxing career, it makes me work that much harder. It makes me realize my potential, my ability, and I want to be somebody. I want to leave a mark. Before I leave this earth, I'd like to leave a mark. I'd like to be somewhere categorized with the Muhammad Alis, the Sugar Ray Leonards, the Joe Lewises. You know, I don't think that I'll ever be as great as them. They're the very, very greatest. But I'm going to work my hardest to try and reach that.
Leave a mark more than the mark that's on his cheek, and you can barely see it. If it's just a little bit of a mark right on the side of his cheek. It's a remarkable story, it truly is, and I know you got a little bit of a head start over the other fighters because he's fought literally and sparred with Evander Holyfield, and they're all getting in line. People like George Foreman wanted to spar with John Bray. So they do respect this guy, and we respect him even more. Stay well, stay away from some guns.
Definitely.
And we'll see you perhaps after the Olympics. John Bray, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
We'll come back more up close after this.